What's up? What's up? Welcome to a special episode of Product of the 80s podcast. I'm your host, Reggie. I got my beautiful co host, the Afro Atheist, with me, and also the vessel of dishonor. How are you two doing today?
Hey
Good, thank
Reggie.
you.
Hi
I'm good.
everyone.
How come I was waiting to see Reggie's face scrolling on the front, but no Reggie, what happened?
Well, this is actually not my personal show. I actually share this with my coworker, my partner, Jamar Black V. He's actually not available today. He doesn't get off till 6 o'clock our time, but I wanted to go ahead and take care of this Diddy situation while it's still hot. So, in the news, we all know that Diddy has been indicted on sex trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping charges. Let's pull it
Ooh,
up. Have
oh
y'all heard
wow.
anything about that on your side of the pond?
Well, I've just heard that he's been arrested. That's all I've heard. But this would be interesting because to be honest with you, I've not really dug deep into what the hell is going on. I just know he's a bad guy and bad guys need to be arrested. He's been arrested. I don't know the fine details. So this should be, yeah, for me, an expose.
I wouldn't say he's a bad guy. He's bad boys for life, right?
He's bad boys for life.
Bad boys for life.
Mm-mm.
Have you heard anything about it, Vessel?
Yes, I heard that he's been arrested on what did they say it was? Trafficking. That's what I heard. Said trafficking.
I never understood why a person, I'm not going to say he can get any female in the world, any woman in the world, but he has a better variety and a better selection at his hands than most men in America. So why are you involving yourself with things like this? I just don't understand. Why are you sex trafficking? It
He
doesn't make
was
sense to me.
untouchable. He thought he was untouchable. And some people just have an insatiable appetite. And from the JLo situation back in the days, the JLo situation back in those days, because him and JLo were together.
Right.
Listen, from what was described, let's just say that his pin maybe
I don't know, but it seems like it's pretty
that's
accurate.
what was that's what was described. They said his pin was so this is a small dick energy situation here.
But I mean, she really can't say that. I mean, I'm not saying it's not true, and
Listen, it wasn't
I don't,
really, I don't think it
I
was
don't care.
her. I don't think it was her.
Oh,
Don't forget she had an assistant then who, these were conversations that we
oh,
had within them. So it wasn't really from her. It was, someone leaked information from chats that they've been having. So, and it turned out that, we were dealing with a small micro pin. Mm-mm.
whatever, whatever it is, because I really don't want to have it. Me, I don't want to talk about another man's dick. But whatever his dick
No,
is,
but
hold on, let me hear it out. It's
it's
active.
important in this
Whatever it is, it's
conversation.
active because he's trying to put it in places that maybe he shouldn't be putting it. I don't know.
Yeah, because he's got the money. So, when you have money, that micro pin becomes a huge thing because you think you can have any and everyone.
Well, For me, I see it from the point of view that he's a wealthy man and women are throwing themselves at him.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to excuse his behavior. I'm not trying to say that, what he did was good, but we also need to look on the flip side. There are families that these girls belong to, and they would turn a blind eye to the fact that they've come in late or they've disappeared for a week, all because they were with this man. When the things were happening, why was no one saying anything about it? Why did they wait until he's down? And then all of a sudden, people are coming out, oh, he did this to me. Oh, he did that to me. People were paid off. People were given hush money. People were hanging around him because they wanted to be seen with the famous P. Diddy. I think it's a curse.
Mm.
Other people would see it as a blessing, but I see it as a curse because you've got people around you who are not supposed to be around you, such as these girls. And sometimes you get to the point where you can literally have anything in the world. You start going for the most, what's the word? Dangerous vices, or the most, um, you start having all these fetishes and fantasies and you want to live them out. Um, drugs, alcohol, all of that involved. And the thing is, some of these women were riding hard and enjoying the ride while it lasted.
Of course.
Of course.
And now all of a sudden he's the bad guy.
Were they having a good time really? Were they having a good time? From the
Some of
videos that we have seen,
them. Mm.
videos that we've seen,
I,
listen, I don't
I, I,
want to be in their shoes.
yeah, I
So
seen the Cassie one when he's um when he kicked her. She was trying to get
Ooh,
away from him, and
that
he
was
kicked her
bad.
and he dragged her. That was terrible.
Mm,
That was horrible. She
yeah,
didn't need to go through that.
yeah.
But what did she do? She stayed.
well, uh, I kind of had a conversation with Afro about something similar earlier today.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because we were discussing this, and that kind of came up, but we only briefly touched on it. What the conversation detailed of is like the R. Kelly situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to bring that up, but it
right,
needs to be said.
right. But
Okay.
listen,
Were they in
listen
the
to
same
this.
circles? Were they in
Listen,
the same circles with R.
absolutely,
Kelly?
absolutely, they're famous. They're
Okay.
they're they're black
I mean,
musicians, of course.
they would have had connections with one another. May not have been close, but would have had.
They've done songs
Yeah.
together. Biggie
Okay.
Have they
Oh,
Smalls
done
okay.
songs
has
together?
songs with Biggie Smalls has songs with R. Kelly. I'm
Yeah.
fucking you tonight. You don't think Puff is there?
Oh.
What song is
They've
that,
known each
please?
other for years.
PDD
They
and R. Kelly?
no R. Kelly and Biggie Smalls and Notorious is
Oh,
Notorious.
Biggie
Yeah.
Smalls. Okay, okay, okay. Biggie
Right,
Smalls.
that's
Okay,
Puff.
And
That's
then
Puff's artist.
Diddy
So
was in
he
the
definitely
background those days.
right, right.
yes,
Okay, okay.
yes. He's known R. Kelly probably 30 fucking years at least
Right.
easily. I'll tell you something else about Puff that most people don't know. Usher, his mom gave him to him and let him live with him as a child, as a teenager.
Mm.
Justin Bieber as well.
You see how freaky Usher is?
Justin Bieber. Don't forget
Okay,
Justin Bieber.
him too. Yeah,
And I think Usher came out saying that he had a sex addiction
yeah,
based on him being young and being
yeah.
exposed to all this. Yeah.
He was getting all kind of shit when he was 12, 13, 14 years old from grown women. And listen, there was women in a circle that's not innocent either. I tell you one, Mary J. Blige, she's not innocent either. She's not
How
innocent either.
come?
I know stuff
Hey,
about her.
we're not going to talk about Mary J. Blige. Come on, I
Shit, I
love
don't care.
her. I
I don't
love her.
care.
What are you
Listen,
saying about Mary J. Blige?
Afro,
What's going on
I spare
here?
none.
Afro, they
I
all need
spare
to be
none.
hung out to
I
dry.
spare
Reggie, you
none.
will not mention
Uh-uh.
her name
Uh-uh.
without
No,
Uh-uh.
saying
they
what
all
No.
need to be
exactly is
hung out
going
to
on.
dry.
I'm
I'm
mentioning her
sorry.
name.
Excuse
I,
me, you are not going to mention Mary J. Blige and not fill me in.
I'm
Because
trying
as far
to.
All
as
right.
I'm concerned, she's a saint.
Do you know who Danny Boy is?
Was he her husband?
No,
I don't know who Danny Boy is.
he's a death row artist with a high pitched voice.
Danny Boy, Danny Boy. Hold
And
on, let's
he
see.
said that he had a relationship with her when he was a child. Now he's
It,
gay.
it all needs to come out. This whole, bits and pieces, it's not doing us any good. We
You say
had Bill
Danny Boy?
Cosby, right?
He,
After Bill Cosby, we had R. Kelly. And then they waited a few more years, and then now they're giving us B. Diddy. And then they're going to wait a few more years, and they're going to give us somebody else. Everybody
Oh.
needs to come out. The whole shit show needs to just happen.
Mhm.
listen,
It
but
all
listen,
because whoever was messing with Usher is a P3. I can say it here. Is a pedophile.
listen to
They
this.
need to be hung out as well. Sorry, Bridget.
Damn, you just made me forget what I was about to say. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. About R. Kelly. Listen to this. So it is a fact that him and Aaliyah were married when he was 27 and she was 14. That's a fact, right?
Wait, say that again. Oh, yeah, yes. No, that Aliyah
That's a
situation.
fact.
Mm,
That's a fact. That cannot be
yes.
disputed,
Okay.
right?
R. Kelly.
So listen.
That
So
was
look.
bad.
So look. So they her parents got their marriage annulled or whatever, right? So I knew that when I was a child, and the reason why I knew that is because I heard it on the radio, right? I heard it on like the whatever the most famous radio station was. I think it was a Pittsburgh radio station at the time, right? So after that situation ended, they weren't doing music together anymore. Aaliyah probably had a career about another 5 or 6 years, right? So we all wonder why did Aaliyah's parents never say anything about this situation, right? Guess why? Her family owns the executive rights to R. Kelly's first three albums. Why
Hmm.
is why is that?
They sold their child.
Interesting.
They sold their child.
Facts. They sold their child and they
Reggie,
kept
are
their
you sure
silence.
about that?
Listen, I put it on everything. I
Reggie,
put
are you
that on everything.
sure?
I put that on every fucking thing.
That's
Listen,
disgusting.
if I'm lying, I'm liable to get sued. Please, somebody correct me. Please, somebody debunk what I just said because you can't. That's a fact. So if you look at it like this, they're kind of negligent because if you would have opened your mouth and would have said what really happened, a lot of these things that R. Kelly was accused of and got convicted for probably wouldn't have happened.
M. Albert
Facts.
says 50 Cent is next. Eesh. And hello,
I don't know. I
everyone.
haven't heard
Hello,
anything
hello,
about 50 Cent, but
hello,
I've heard.
Denisha. We just 666. Kiko, M. Albert, Betsy. Who else?
I've heard
Hello,
about
everyone.
Jay-Z. So
And Foxy
if
Mhm.
there's
Brown.
anyone next, it's probably Jay-Z.
I doubt it. Doubt that very much. Mm-mm. I think Jay Z would have cleaned up his act
You
before
can't.
getting with his wife.
No, he
No,
can't. No, he can't. He can't.
no,
He can't. You know why? Because if you compare the times when he came out compared to how old Foxy Brown is, and if she can prove that they had a relationship during that time,
that's it.
he's nailed. He's
That's it.
nailed.
I was about to bring up
Foxy
Foxy
Brown.
Brown.
Hmm.
I was
Wait,
about to bring
hold
up
on.
Foxy Brown.
Did they date? Did Foxy Brown and P Diddy date?
No,
Mm-mm.
I'm talking about Jay Z and
Jay-Z.
Foxy Brown. I'm not saying for sure that you can prove that they smex, but if she can prove that they smex during that time, which she has said on record, he's nailed.
What was she?
She
Was
said
she a minor?
yes. She said that he gave her a STD, and she said that
Hey,
also, she also said that I'm not. This is not my words. These are her words. She said that Jay Z was gay and he had relationships with Larry Johnson. That's what Foxy Brown said.
there's this lady that goes on talking trash. What's her name? Jaguar, right? Is it Jaguar?
Yeah,
Jaguar, right?
Hmm.
yeah.
She has made a lot of claims. I don't know if I can trust that one.
I won't trust her neither because they're not first-hand accounts. But Foxy Brown, that's a first-hand account. She's saying
Is
it
it?
happened to me. Yes, and
Should
she
we
also
should we
claims
trust everything? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
hard
saying
to tell.
guess what else she said? She said Beyonce got halitosis.
What?
She said that Beyonce has halitosis.
What's halitosis?
It means your breath smell like shit.
Your breath.
Reggie, it just means you're bad. You've got bad breath. Your
Bad, smells like shit, garbage, ass,
breath.
rotten,
Not ass,
rotten
Well,
gorilla,
Reggie.
but
Not
now
ass.
now
gorilla
now
cages, whatever.
she'll have enough money to take care of that, no?
listen, I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying that she said these things.
Halitosis is difficult to treat if it's chronic.
I'm not
Do we
saying
have
this.
someone else on the stage? Black V? Who's that?
Oh, that's my co-host. This
Okay.
is really our show. I don't. He's not on here today though. He doesn't get
All
off of work
right.
until
Okay. All right.
I doubt it too, Denisha.
Hey,
But if
Susan.
he did bring out Foxy Brown. They was like this when she first came out. He helped her with most of her career in the beginning, and she said that they had sex. If he did it, then he's guilty.
So I see what I'm seeing is these were young black men, grew up poor, right? Grew up in a time when, money wasn't accessible to people of that demography. And somehow they have made a little way for themselves. And now they've come into all this money. They've come into all this fame, the women, the the attention, the music, the lights, the travels, the jets, and it gets in here. It gets into the head, and
Hmm.
they become untouchable. They become um they think that they are above the law. They think that because they've got all these many fans and many people that love them, that nobody, right, that it is an honor for these girls to be in their company. I can imagine that some of these people
Do you know? Do you know
were
what that reminds me of,
propositioned.
Afro?
Some of these girls would have been propositioned by some of these musicians will be propositioned by the girls. I would not lay it
Or the
entirely on.
managers go out and get them for them. But
Mm,
do you know what you just said? Do you know what that reminds me of?
mm,
What?
Modern day pastors and prophets.
amen.
That's what they're doing. And
Yes.
going back to Diddy, he's a Roman Catholic.
Is
That's
it?
all I'm going to say about it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna try to pull up. Remember, I was talking to you earlier, Afro, about what Cameron said
Mm-hmm, mm.
years ago. Let me see. I'm gonna show you. Now this is old right here, and the
Gosh,
point of me
I
showing
don't,
this
I
is
don't
because
think
this is nothing new.
Reggie, look, you see where I'm sat right now, right? Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
He's a bad guy, right? But I feel like this guy never saw this day coming. I think he thought in his mind that somehow it will go away, pay the right people, threaten the right people, right? And somehow this will go away. Someone like R. Kelly, these people didn't see it coming. Or if better still, they thought they could avoid it ever getting to this point. And so I commend the people bringing justice to these folks because um, there are parts of the world where they will get away with murder. The part of the world where I grew up in, oh, they're untouchable. They are untouchable unless something were to happen that is beyond their their reach, right? Something someone but to expect that they would be tried under a law court. The only time that might likely happen is if a life has been taken, right? But for things like he slept with she slept, you will even the women would be blamed. The women would get they would say, "What was she doing there? What was she doing there?" She would be the one blamed for. So I mean, I feel like this should be a um people should learn from this. People need to learn from this. And I'm talking pastors, I'm talking about all these other musicians. Just remind me, I've got a little story of mine to tell later on.
So when I just had that video playing, did y'all hear it talking in the background?
No.
Okay.
I was thinking the other day, right? I was thinking about this. I said, there are historic people, there's some people that have committed historic sexual offenses,
And it was
and they
a
feel
dildo
like, uh,
on the bathroom sink. And when I
sheesh.
came out, I asked him what's about. He like, that's homeboy's joint. I don't know what it's about. He always have girls over here, but I said, well, this one is sink. This your bathroom. You're using this bathroom. I don't know where his bathroom at. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's word to my son. Cause stop breathing. I
But
swear
you
to
know
God.
what, guys?
So he would see dildos lying around.
So look, the way the whole story goes is right. So I guess they must have. I'm gonna look for it more. The rest of the interview, what he's saying is. So what Cameron was saying was he said he went to Diddy's house, like one of his apartments in either Park Avenue or Fifth Avenue in Manhattan, to go kick it with Mace. To give some backstory on this, who people don't know, Mace and Cameron been friends most of their life, right? They've known each other since childhood, right? They're both from Harlem. They played basketball together. They came up rapping together, all that shit, right? So what he's saying is he's saying he went over there to go kick it with him, right? Because Mace was a star before Cameron was, but he still was his friend, so he would let him come around and he would try to introduce him to people to help him get signed too. But Mace was better than Cameron, so I don't really think that Puff. Well, I know Puff didn't want him because he had the opportunity to sign him too, and he didn't. So Cameron would still come around. So Cameron is saying that he went over P. Diddy's house to kick it with Mace. He went to the bathroom, right? And he went to the bathroom and he seen some detachable dildos like on the walls and shit. And he said he came out asking Mace like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" He was like, "Yo, them is Puffs." And he was like, "But the fuck you mean? Puff got his own bathroom." He like, "Whoa, this is his house. He do what he want." And so he said that he was asking him like, "Is he, LGBTQ or whatever?" He was like, "I don't know. He be having girls and shit, but I don't know." That's what he said. Mace was saying.
Okay.
So,
So
and this interview is old, very old.
I feel like this guy, uh, PDD, sounds like he's got some very wild antics when it comes to the bedroom department. It's like everything, nothing is beyond limits. There's no stop, a point where we stop. We just do whatever, whatever. Yeah, we do whatever we want to do in that bedroom department.
To put more backstory with that, right? When I first seen that interview, I didn't necessarily believe it, and the reason why is because
Wait, you what?
for about 20 years, Cameron and Mace, even though they're childhood friends, they were feuding real hard. They had fell out. I thought they would never speak again, honestly, because they were going at each other for years. Mostly Cameron going at Mace because Mace is somewhat religious now or whatever. So
Yeah.
one thing I've learned, I don't take people's word 100% word when they're mad at somebody, especially when they used to be friends, because I'm gonna start thinking that you fake as fuck, and you kind of got a reason to lie to prove a point. You know what I mean? So I didn't take it for 100% value. But as time went on, after I heard that interview, shit just kept accumulating and accumulating from other stars and other people like, don't go to Diddy parties. It was like in a joking manner. But as time went on, it just was like boom, 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 boom. So my point is, people been saying this shit for years.
Um, are we going to talk about the man of the cloth who's been going to these parties as well?
Oh, you talk
Mr.
about
Mr.
swallows,
Swallow. Swallow.
right?
Swallowed up. Mr. Power Bottom.
But
uh,
to Vessel's
well,
point earlier, though, I do think that a lot of times when people do certain things and they get, where there's smoke, there's fire. I think
mm,
that some of these people may be telling the 100% about 100% truth about Puff, R. Kelly, whatever these stars, but there's always going to be people that are going to add on to it. Always.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No different.
Absolutely.
I know y'all don't see him. You may not see him in your country, but in our country, there's always like these stupid ass lawsuits that come on TV and shit, right? For like class action lawsuits for like medicine and shit, or things that happen.
Mm.
And there's always people that's gonna add on that had nothing to do with it. They'll just award them just to get rid of the fucking headache. So it's no different to me. No different to me at all, really. Same thing.
Hmm. Have you ever been swallowed up, Danisha? Hmm. And listen, I bet wherever PD, not his name, Mr. Swallowed, I bet he'll be praying to whatever God he worships. Let this not go anywhere. Let this not, because he might be called upon as a witness. That would be interesting. Hey, either a witness or I don't know. This might, because some of these lawyers can be very divisive, right? In order to get things really, fired up and heated up, right? Let's call Mr. TD Jakes on the stage. Hmm. I would
That
listen,
could happen.
an arm and a leg I would give to see that.
Me too.
Mm,
Me
mm,
too.
mm, mm.
But you're right. Things like that do happen because I remember the last time, rest in peace, Michael Jackson got into some shit. Right?
Oh,
They pulled Chris Tucker to the trial. I was like, what the fuck they got him doing? But I don't know if it was a character witness or what. I'm sure he wasn't like physically involved, but
mm-hmm.
he definitely was in the case for sure.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go on this TMZ report too and pull this up here and read it.
TMZ. Do you trust TMZ, Reggie?
Uh, it depends in certain circumstances. I trust him as far as going to report stuff, but you can't take it for truth because he hasn't been convicted. So, according to TMZ, Diddy indicted on sex trafficking, racketeering, kidnapping charges. Sean Diddy Combs is now a criminal defendant in a sex trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping case after a grand jury indicted him. This, according to official documents, Diddy has been charged with 3 counts: racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud or coercion, the transportation to engage in prostitution. According to the indictment from 2008 to the present, members of the Combs enterprise allegedly engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, and enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotic offenses, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Damn, Puff. According to the indictment, the purpose of the Combs enterprise was to operate a global business in the media, entertainment, and lifestyle industries. The purpose also includes preserving Diddy's power and fulfilling his personal desires, especially in relation to his sexual gratification, including through the exploitation of women and the use of commercial sex workers. The indictments mention the now famous freak off parties, calling them elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged directly, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. Well, damn. The indictment alleges Combs lured women into his orbit under the pretense of a romantic relationship and then used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with male commercial sex workers. After the freak-offs, Combs and the victims typically received IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Damn. The indictment does not include details on the kidnapping allegations other than they occurred in California, as did arson and bribery. As for drug charges, they allegedly involved the intent to distribute narcotics, including cocaine, oxycontin, Xanax, GHB, the date rape drug, MDM, MDMA, and ketamine. The indictment references what was seized during the raids at Diddy's home in Beverly Hills and Miami. Various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants. They also seized firearms, including 3 AR-15s with the face serial numbers in drum magazines. The indictment also includes allegations of violence against women. He's alleged to have assaulted women by striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at and kicking them. It references March 2016 indictment at the LA hotel captured on video, and this is clearly referencing the Cassie case. There's more. Prosecutors say that in late 2023, following public allegations of crimes, Combs and his associates would pressure victims and witnesses, including through attempted robbery, to stay silent. Tuesday morning, Diddy's son King and Justin were in Lower Manhattan federal court awaiting their father's appearance before a judge. If convicted on all counts, Diddy faces decades in prison. His lawyer, Mark Agnifolio, said going into the courthouse he will fight like hell to get his client released on bail. Agnifilio said his client is not only not guilty but outright innocent. Diddy will appear before a judge Tuesday morning, which was I guess was today, where the charges will be read. Yeah, he's a real bad boy, a real bad boy. I got tired of reading that shit.
Those are some real serious charges. Those are some real serious allegations.
Thing
My
is that
Yes,
goodness.
there are.
it's terrible, right?
Is
Oof.
this not
However,
worse than is this not worse than R. Kelly was just mainly sex.
Kelly had a house where he kept these girls.
Eh.
Oof.
Yeah, but it was sex, no?
It was, yeah. He had a house where they lived. And at the time of his arrest, he had two girls living together.
This what is wrong with these people?
The thing is,
What is wrong
people
with
want
these
this
people?
Afro. People want this, and then all of a sudden, um,
Thank you. He's
they're
right.
a victim. This is what I don't agree with. That all of a sudden I'm
Some
a
of
victim.
them
Oh
were
no, he did
victims.
this
Some
to
of
me.
them
Oh, he
were
did that
victims.
to me. But when your friend came to tell you that, do you know what? Um, I've got an invite to P Diddy's house. We've got a
Hmm.
party. There's a freak off party going on. Let's go.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's go. This is what I'm gonna wear. You do your makeup. You make sure you're smelling nice, and you go to this freak off party.
Hmm.
Right? All of a sudden, you're a victim. I'm not. I'm not. Don't get me wrong,
Victim
guys.
blame.
I'm not.
Victim
Um,
blame.
I'm not saying P Diddy is innocent of what he's done because I don't know exactly what he's done. I just know about the allegations of what they say he's done.
Hmm.
And then at the same time, I'm also saying these victims are not so, they're not innocent
Innocent.
victims because they played along. All they needed to say was, no, I'm not available. Then they wouldn't have to have an IV drip.
Listen,
Hmm.
I
Some
ain't
people.
never had no type of sex where I needed an IV drip. That must have been some intense shit. God damn, them motherfuckers must didn't have no
Yep.
nutrients left in them. Like god damn, like I could see you having a
And
couple bottled waters afterwards, maybe a cigarette or whatever the fuck. But
they need an
IV,
IV
damn.
drip right there. Reggie, I'm sure he just didn't have just the one party.
What are you talking about?
This
They
was
were
several
regular.
years.
They're regular
Okay,
passes.
exactly. This is what I'm saying.
They're regular
I'm sure
passes.
it's probably the regular people that kept attending these parties.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, because like the real deal is I feel what you're saying in a way, Vessel, because I know at least 5 people, females I could think of, women I could think of at the top of my head right now, that if I just read all that shit to them, they'll run over there like what?
I
Be
want
right over
in.
Wait, they run over there and do what? No.
there. Anything he asks right now.
Afro, it's like Trump. Do you the fact that there's some women there that want to jump on Trump's
Mm.
bones
Well,
is
well,
it doesn't make
well.
sense to me. But you've
I
got
saw Reggie. Reg, there's a video. Please remind me. I'm going to send you the link to it. I want you to go and look at This is a black man, a black pastor, defending Trump's. They're eating cats and dogs.
I
Yeah,
hate
I
I
will
hate
send it to
I
you.
hate Coonage. I hate
No,
Coonage with a
Reggie,
passion.
this is connery at its finest. Connery, to the T. This is listen. You need to see it. This is culinary. It was all of it.
You can pull it up.
Just
You
you want
pull
me
it
to
up.
get it?
You got it.
I get it. Oh, and it's only 7 minutes long, but my goodness,
I had.
it is frustrating.
I told you I had to go off on the dude Reggie today. Oh, that
Yes.
shit pissed me off so bad,
Reggie was
so
going off
motherfucking
on
bad.
a Reggie. Oh man.
I was so embarrassed. And I told him, I said, "You are such a disgrace. I am so mad that your name is Reggie.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
such a coon, such a coon."
Oh, this is bad.
Because guess what he said, y'all? He said
What
that
did
the
he
reason
say?
why slavery happened to us, right, is because we disobey God. Fucking coon. I
Oh
can't
my
take that shit.
god. That's it right there, Reggie. If you put me on the screen, please.
Idolatry.
Reggie, you're about to hear the same. You see the same thing you were discussing with Reggie. It's very similar. Okay, let's.
Help me, Holy Ghost. And all of a sudden, fire rained down on that sacrifice. And everybody was able to see who the true living God was. All them prophets that prophesied idolatry were all killed because of their idolatry. I'm finna say something right here, right now. Won't see? I want to ask you, how long halt ye between two opinions? If God be God, worship and serve him. But if Baal be God, worship and serve. I hear you right now. I ain't worshiping no Baal. I ain't got no image that I'm bowing down to. Oh, but you may be fooled because the spirit of Baal is still in the earth. Oh, preach somebody, preach. Baal and his spirit is still alive, but he packages himself in a different way where you can't recognize him.
What?
Oh, somebody finna get mad in a minute. He doesn't come in an image today, but he comes spiritually and he pushes a particular agenda. I'm gonna show you how you can recognize Baal. Any group or any organization that promotes child sacrifice or abortion, that's one of the characteristics of, of Baal. Any group that honors women above their headship, that's radical feminism. Preach somebody, preach. Any group that promotes men dressing like women or women dressing like men. Any group that wants to redefine the role of male and female. Any group that promotes homosexuality. Any group
The
that
Bible.
promotes witchcraft
The Bible.
is Baal worship. Help me, God.
Do you
It is
know
nothing
what
but the
he's saying
old
is in
Baal
the
worship
Bible?
that is trying to draw people away
Everything,
from God.
everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
He's fucking stupid.
No, it's not. You haven't got to the worst part yet. It's coming. It's coming. Not this
But
guy talking about any. Go on, Reggie.
he doesn't know that he's literally proving that God and Yahweh is a fucking myth. He's saying it, and he just don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
He don't even know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Yahweh,
Yeah.
brother, dummy.
All of this, all of this here is because he wants to support, or he is in support of Trump.
It's pathetic.
It is in the earth. How long, church? Halt ye between two opinions. You can't go to church on Sunday and then vote for Baal on Tuesday. God tonight. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. This election is critical. The Bible says you cannot drink from the cup of the Lord and the cup of the devil. Some of you trying to be religious on Sunday, but your thinking has not changed. Your belief system has not changed. You're supporting cultures and things that are contrary to your God. How long? Halt ye between two opinions. I'm going to preach this today. See, some people's Christianity ends on Sunday, but from Monday to Saturday, you love the world. and love Baal, and you may not even know it. Proverbs 29:2 says that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Lord, should I say this, God?
Should I say this,
I
God?
can't tell you how critical it is. I started not to bring this up, but I'm going to go on. I know they're going to try to crucify me out there. I got to get ready for the cross.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Bible said if you live and preach godly, you will suffer persecution. When I saw the debate the other night, and I heard what President Trump talked about eating cats and dogs, I thought he had gotten senile. But there are things that people don't know and understand that he was strategically trying to put out. The illegal immigration policies that are going on in this nation is getting ready to reshape America like never before. And y'all don't see it because you got a corrupt media that won't tell you the truth. They are bringing millions of people into this country and they are shipping them around to different cities all over the United States. And the media won't tell you nothing.
So fucking what?
It sounded crazy, but it's true. Yes, it's true. Because people don't understand voodoo culture. Haitians come out of Haiti, which is a strong voodoo culture. And the reason it's going to be a problem, see, they got you thinking race. He just hate them black folk. No, it's about culture. Even the Venezuelan gangs are bringing their culture to our nation, and they are taking over cities right now.
What's
The
this
police
man
can't do
talking
nothing
about?
with them.
Push back.
This
Listen,
is
he's
just some
lying.
BS.
He's lying. Listen, Haitians are 90% fucking Roman Catholic.
They're Catholics.
The Venezuelans are
BS.
99% Roman Catholic. What the fuck are you talking about?
Voodoo.
He's fucking stupid. He's a coon. Listen, all that's listen.
Hold on,
This is the
he's
truth.
still
This
going to
is the
speak
truth.
more. He's still got more up his sleeve. Idiot. He's still got more. Just hold on.
And
It ain't
Robin, hold
black
on.
folk. We always accuse it to be.
Robin Phillips, you are keeping it 100. 100. Everything
Hey,
you're saying
Robin Phillips.
is absolutely true.
Yes, we've Robin. Guys, make sure to follow Reggie. Reggie does all these deep dives on all the different yeah, he loves all this kind of stuff. And we've done something on the Pantheon. What was it? What was that Pantheon again?
The Canaanite pantheon.
Canaanite Pantheon. Yes, and learning about Elohim and all his different children, of which Yahweh is just one of them. Yahweh is not even up there. He's not even on the top there.
He's a
And
demigod.
Elohim even had a wife, Asherah. It was interesting to do a deep dive on that. So yeah, NJ, you followed him. Okay, all right. Thank you, Gerard. With Randall. Hey, Randall. Good to see you. Long time no see. Wait, immigration. This whole plus immigration, the same thing in the UK right now. Oh, the UK has not got enough resources to take up immigration and rah, rah. Most of our ancestors were they immigrated from somewhere.
Afro, why didn't they think about the resources when they went around pillaging, raping, stealing, and looting and colonizing?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I go off on people who want to comment about third world because those countries they're calling third world are so-called third world because of what this British Empire has done to them.
I remember someone saying to me, go back to your country. And I responded by saying to them, I will go back to my country, but y'all should never have come to mine. You're getting payback for what your people did. Your people came there first, and they're still there.
Listen, do you see? Listen, do you see how big the United States it looks on the map compared to
Yes, I
compared
can't
to
even
Nigeria?
begin to imagine it.
Compared to Nigeria.
Hmm.
Okay, so Nigeria has 200 something million people, right? And we have 300 something million, right? So what that means is the United States is empty as a motherfucker. Bottom line. The only way you don't know that is if you stayed on the East Coast and are stuck in the original 13 colonies or, you know, some of the Louisiana Purchase. The second you go anywhere out west, you're gonna be like, where the fuck are people at? Nevada, empty. Uh,
I've heard that
Utah,
you can travel
empty.
hours within the US.
Hours, hours
Eh?
and hours and hours and
From
hours,
one,
and
so someone
nobody's
said,
there.
Reggie, is it true? In one state, you can drive 12 hours in one state.
Texas, yes, yes. And guess what?
I drove to
Alaska
another
is
country.
way
I
bigger
drove to
than
another
Texas.
country 2 weeks ago. Here, I drove to another country 5.5 hours.
Listen, 5 hours from where I live at is Cincinnati, Ohio. I live in Ohio. You feel
Hmm?
me? 5 hours from where I live is Cincinnati, Ohio. I live in Ohio, so I'm
Wait,
still
hang
in
on.
this. I'm
So you're
still in
still
the
in?
same fucking state.
Listen.
Yeah, the United States is empty. Bottom line. And even where I live at, right? Say for instance, if I drive to the capital, right? There's nothing but farmland and prisons along the way. I mean, you just going miles and miles and miles and
Mm,
miles
mm,
and
mm.
miles. Ain't no motherfucking body
No
out there.
wonder you all drive
Nobody.
trucks. You drive those big, really big cars. You don't see those here. You don't see those
That's what
kind
I'm
of
saying.
big.
Oh,
Um,
Afro, I see them every time I go to Mayfair. The GMCs and the Escalades,
right.
I
Okay. Okay.
see
When
them,
you go to yeah,
and I'm
okay.
like, I want.
No, 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 not for me. Not for
Yeah,
me.
but our roads over here are really small. They're not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reggie, did I not say that to you? That you guys have huge roads.
It
My
depends on where you
goodness.
at. It depends on where you at. Like if you okay, so when it be like 4 and 5 lanes, that's the big cities, right? But nowhere else is really like that. Everywhere else you got 2 lanes, 1 lane. And in the country, the roads is thin as fuck. Like the roads is not even long enough. I mean, wide enough for two cars to be on at the same fucking time, and it's a 2 lane road.
Okay, okay. So it
So
depends where you are.
yeah,
Do you know what I've just noticed by right here? This is some I don't know whether to call this a contradiction. Not the man's name, name of his whatever this is, world overcomers complaining about immigration. How are you going to overcome the world if they're not immigrating? Huh? How is the world overcomer? He wants to be a world overcomer,
I,
but
I,
then
I want
complaining about
I want to say something about Haiti and all that shit, but I'm gonna wait till he finish fucking cooning.
okay. All right. Okay. Right. All right. Reggie says continue cooning.
So every time anything come up about anything black folk, we always accuse it to be about race. No, it's culture. Voodoo culture requires sacrifice. In other words, bring me an animal, and that represents you, and I want you to lay it on the altar and give it to me as a
Uh,
sacrifice.
Wow.
excuse me.
But
Is
in
that not
voodoo,
what
you
Yahweh
eat
asked
the
them to do?
animals that you
Wait, hang on. He's trying to say that what's his name? Trump talking about the eating cats and dogs. The Haitians are using the cats and dogs for voodoo.
No,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
isn't in the Bible, isn't it there where the God tells them to bring animals for
Oh,
sacrifice?
Yes.
when it is different,
Oh,
it's different. When it is their own their own darling religion, no, you see, they don't see the comparison. No, no, it can't be the same. When we do it, we are doing it as a sign of respect, as a sign or as a sacrifice to our God. But when the other people do it, all the idols, they huge, they sacrifice. Oh no, it's horrible. Oh, it's the same, the exact same thing.
No, NJ, don't go nowhere because I got something to say and I want you to hear it too after he get done cooning. But it's not.
What
It's
what
gonna.
did what did what did what did what did
He done cooning.
enjoy the rhetoric? I can't listen. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. Shall I continue?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, it's nearly done. Nearly done.
You bring to the
Wait, wait, wait. You
sacrifice.
just need to hear that bit about sacrificing. I'm sorry.
But in voodoo, you eat the animals that you bring to the sacrifice.
Ain't that what you're
This is what
supposed to
the
do?
media ain't gonna tell you. I got a Haitian pastor because we helped to build a church over in Haiti, and he has enlightened me on different cultures. Yes, they get those animals because they need them for sacrifice.
Hmm.
It's almost
They
over, y'all. Hold on.
kill the animals, and then they are taught that if you eat the animal, you will get more power inside of you.
Eh,
And so they eat the animals, and demons are the ones that come on the inside. I'm preaching up in here today. I'm
No, you
preaching
ain't.
up here. They don't
Somebody
tell you
needs to
that in the
sue this
media
man.
because they're trying to hide it. They don't want you to see it because they don't want the people to become alert to what's happening where they're spreading these people all over the country. Springfield, Ohio ain't got but 67,000 people, but they brought in 15,000 migrants from Haiti
So
that will
fucking what?
change the culture in that city. They're getting people's pets and killing them for their own sacrifice
Fucking
because that
bullshit.
was the culture in Haiti. It is true.
No, it's not.
And he was smart enough to put it out because he knew it would make people start going to talk about it and start looking. So whether or not you hate him or not, it's the truth.
there you go.
So that's not
Told you
true.
it was bad. Mm.
It's not true, right? So that's based off of a lie where somebody called to do some racist shit to a Haitian person lying saying that they tried to boil the cat and sacrifice the cat. The guy on Fox News even admitted to making that story up and lying, right? But there's something that I want all black people, and when I'm talking about black people, I'm talking about black American people, to understand, right? About Haitians. It's time for you to put some fucking respect on these people's name. And that's the bottom line. If it was not for fucking Haitians and their bravery and the shit that they did, your black ass still would be a fucking slave right now. Period. The United States. If it was not for the Haitians, half of the United States would not even be the United States, right? Because of the Louisiana Purchase. If you don't believe me, look it up, right? Also, those same exact fucking people that whooped Napoleon's army without no guns, right? A lot of them migrated or became slaves in Louisiana. So when the Civil War went on, they went and got 500,000 black people to defeat the South. The bottom line is you owe these motherfuckers a fucking what is it? What is it? Something of gratitude, a debt of gratitude. Yes, because if it was not for them and their bravery, you would still be a slave. Also, they helped other countries free themselves too, right? They freed the Dominicans and then they turned their backs on them. They also helped the Jamaicans free their fucking self too. So I just don't understand why people think that there's something wrong with these people. On top of the fact, most black people in the United States are descendants from Haitians. If you
Mm.
ever get a chance to go to Louisiana, you will see it for yourself. They look exactly like them. They are fucking Haitians, right? Most of us got here that way. So I don't understand why you think that you're something better than these people. They didn't put in the work and then paid their fucking dues. Leave these people alone. You're just mad because they whooped them people's ass. And ever since then, ever since they won and did what they did, the world has deemed them as voodoo. The only thing they did was stay together because the only way you can keep a person a slave is if they're afraid to die. The way that they think is if you kill them, they're going back to heaven either way. So without that bravery and without that mind state, we still will be slaves. The same person that's talking that shit about him, you're a house nigga. And if slavery ever came back about, you would be the first one to raise your motherfucking hand to stand in line and do it. You're a fucking coon. Period.
Coming from somebody who is at the bottom anyway, if they're picking anyone, they're not going to pick him.
Right.
He would not be first choice. He will
Right.
not be second. He will not be third. He's too dark
Right.
If there was uh if we're counting, say, um the order in which, okay, we will get to the likes of that clown speaking, right? He would be down there. He
Right.
would be down there. Number one, age. You see how old he is? He's starting to reach his uh so he hasn't got age on his side. He has not got race on his side. His religion, he's not even, listen, he's got everything working against him. Only in that place where he's sitting, only in that place there, that's the only place where he finds relevance. Outside of those four walls, he means nothing. His voice is nothing, right? They will not pick him at all. Even the heaven, the so called heaven, if that place exists, they don't want him there.
Exactly. Exactly. And like I said, one way or the other, even though you can't prove it, if you live in the United States and you're a black person and you're a descendant from slavery, right? You got Haitian blood in you. But the only thing about it is you can't prove it because it's still gonna come back to West Africa. But you do. So you need to fucking put some respect on these people's name. And also, the reason why they're so poor is not because of voodoo, because that shit is not real, right? The reason why they are so
No.
poor is because they're still in debt. They're paying reparations back to France because after they whooped their ass, they came back again and made them sign treaties to not fight again, which meant they owed the slave herders and the slave owners reparations for their loss of slaves. Jamaica's going through the same thing, and other Caribbean countries are as well. It's pathetic.
It is pathetic. How are these countries in poverty? How are these countries? I just don't understand. And to hear that they are paying reparations.
Yes,
Hmm. How is
yes,
Haiti paying reparations to the United States?
to France.
I'm sorry, you said to France. How is Haiti paying France reparations? Congo, Congo
Afro,
is paying.
Afro, remember when there was the earthquake in Haiti
Yes,
a few years ago, that devastating
Katrina.
earthquake?
Was it Katrina?
There's, I think so. They
No,
still had to pay
Katrina's a
reparations.
hurricane.
No, which one was it?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
was it?
that's a hurricane. There was the earthquake that devastated Haiti
Yes, yes,
a
I
few years
remember that.
ago.
'Cause I remember
Even
what's
with
his name?
that,
Um,
even with that, they
Jean
still had to
Paul.
pay reparations. Even with that, it's
Really?
crazy.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Oh, these people are just
And
evil.
Listen,
France is just has been taking this money for centuries. They just taking the
and if you
money.
don't give it to them,
And
guess
they,
what happened? Guess what happened to them? Guess what happened if you don't give it to them? They'll declare war on you, and you can't beat them.
and all this
Declare
because they say they
people
developed the
is,
country or something,
is
some
France is
nonsense like
coming
that.
fight them or what? Is France going to come from over there to come and fight them?
They will. Remember, I told you earlier that the United States invaded Haiti. Remember, I told you that. The
United
reason why
States
they did is
invaded.
because Haiti. The reason why the United States invaded Haiti is because we loaned them some money, right, to develop their country. Allegedly, they defaulted on their loans. The army, I mean, excuse me, not the army. The Marines went in and stole it and killed anybody in the fucking way.
Oh, I need to read up on that. Ah,
These are facts. And also, remember, I was telling you that Jamaica's still paying reparations. Guess what they're paying?
who?
The UK. They're
Mm.
paying it right now.
Yeah, because they were uh are they not a British colony?
They owe British reparations for their loss of fucking slaves. That's why. That's why they're poor.
No.
The whole British crown is predicated off the backs of black people and people from India. They don't got shit there. France don't got shit neither. Nothing without it. Go look in the museums. You live there. You'll see.
I've been to the museums.
Right.
There are slave museums, yes.
Yeah.
But Reggie, the last slave museum that I went to, mm, very clever. You only see the information that won't incite um, violence, that won't incite people's emotions to go. I noticed very cleverly the information that is put out there at this last stadium. I might look for some of those pictures and share. Um, they're not going into details about exactly what happened, right? Because if they do, because when George Floyd died, that
Hmm.
whole thing, you know, we had our issues as well. People rioted here.
Hmm.
There was it was a whole big thing. People came together and said enough. They started throwing down statues, the statues of those the slave masters, right? They were going for those statues and taking them down and saying, no, we can't have. So, I think now they're being cautious. That slave museum, there's a lot of information that is missing on the walls. Lots of things you wouldn't find. So if you're looking for loads of information at the slave museum, unfortunately you're not going to get loads. It's clever how they've done it.
Think about it like this: how is UK's money back with gold? How? You don't produce any gold. There's no gold
We
there.
don't, but they've got enough gold
You know
to
why?
mm,
You know why?
tell me. I don't know.
Because they stole it from Africans and Indians.
Mm-hmm.
Every fucking piece of it.
Reggie, I've got a video somewhere, right? Hold on. See if I can show you this. I hope I find this video.
Do you know what I was talking to someone about this evening? All the artifacts stolen from Africa and put in the British Museum. The workers in the British Museum are stealing them and selling them on eBay. If you go on eBay and just Google ancient African artifacts, they're being sold for as little as £2, £4. This is people's history,
Can I
and
share my screen?
it's just being flogged just like that on the internet.
That's why, like, when I hear stuff like what I was telling you about, when people are like, "Oh, you just so bad, God, and it's black people fault," I just be like, "Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Do you not know none of this shit?"
Hmm. Can I play it or? Yeah.
That's yeah, that's on the screen. Go ahead.
Brexit was a messy separation between the UK and the EU, and that animosity seems to be still
Okay,
lingering,
Robin.
especially when it comes to ancient artifacts and who their rightful owners are. If you ask Prime Minister Boris Johnson, the Parthenon marbles, which date back more than 2,400 years, were legally acquired and will remain at the British Museum in London. But that's not sitting well with many across the channel, and if history is a guide, they won't be heading to Greece anytime soon.
Lawfully acquired.
This photo, taken at the Benin Palace after the raid, shows soldiers with the dismantled plaques that were brought to the British Museum.
Hmm. There you go.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
One
Go
thing
on.
I've been learning lately, because growing up here, they don't really discuss a lot of Dutch slavery. I'm starting to learn more about that. I got one more thing I'm gonna read to y'all about Puff and play this video because
we've
TMZ is silly
we've
to the
gone
mic.
we've gone far away from the PDD
Far,
subject.
far,
I
far.
forgot we were talking about PDD.
I
Oh
forgot we
goodness.
wasn't on my religious show. I forgot. Hold on.
Sometimes they do intertwine. All these conversations do intertwine. So
All right. Diddy's lawyer told TMZ, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made
what's up
entrepreneur,
with your
loving
mic,
family man.
Reggie? Reggie, what's up with your why is it sounding like that?
I don't know. All right, I'll start over. Diddy's lawyer told TMZ,
No, it's
Sean
still
did
sounding funny.
like
Guys,
in
is
what
it
way?
just me or what? Static.
It's sounding robot-like.
Yes. Maybe take it out and then put it back in. I don't
Is
know
this
about
better?
that. That's better.
Okay. So Diddy's lawyer told TMZ, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the black community. He is an imperfect person, but he's not a criminal. Yes, he is. 30 minutes before the arrest, Diddy was outside the hotel chatting it up with fans. Hours before the arrest, he was walking with his son, Christian King Combs, on the streets of New York. This is him on the 15th. If it's going to play, I'm not sure. Maybe not.
It's
He's
got
been
the
in.
play button over there. It's got the play
Yeah, push
button over
it.
there. Yeah, is it not working? Yeah, see? A very, very ugly, ugly motherfucker.
Take that,
Apparently,
take that, take that.
Mm?
apparently he's Somali.
Mm. I don't know about that. Is it Somalian?
What you,
Apparently,
what
he
you
Mm.
does
say,
look Somali.
Vesta?
Apparently, he's Somali.
I never knew that.
Apparently, that's what I've heard, and he does look Somalian.
Mm. We just
Around his eyes, he
666
does.
says we just 666 says he spent 30 years collecting gallons of lube. He's going to need it. For where he's going to need it.
I'm pretty sure he's used to it.
Ooh. I don't know about that. Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So, any final thoughts on y'all boy P. Diddler?
He's not my boy. Your boy, not mine. My
Take
boy.
that, take that, take that.
So I was talking about sharing a so going back when I was growing up, we knew well there was this musician who thought, we somehow got introduced to my family, me and my sister, you know, and then this man, he was married, had a whole wife at home. Me and my sister were about, sister would have been 14 and I 15. We were small kids. And this man was trying to, you know, do what sick people do with both of us,
I'm trying to diddle y'all.
both of us at the same time. And um, he turned out there were others as well. There were others. And when he died, a lot of information came out. He was a sick individual. He was sick. There is a particular person. I'm really hoping he didn't touch her. I'm hoping because if he tried it, oh my goodness, even though he is dead, it will not be good. I'm hoping he didn't. And I'm trying to not even go there.
I wouldn't claim him neither, Denisha. Let him stay in Harlem. Like, yeah, that's your problem. Because he don't be trying to claim Mount Vernon anyway. But I know he did grow up in Mount Vernon, and he probably spent most of his life there. But it doesn't sound hood to say you from Mount Vernon. So I never understood why people try to glamorize being poor. I never got that.
Hmm?
I never understood why people try to glamorize poverty or growing up
Who's
in a rough.
glamorizing poverty? I thought they glamorize wealth. PDD and his friends,
In a way,
got all the
he do,
yachts and the
he do. But what I'm saying,
girlfriend and the eye candy and yeah,
he does. But what I'm talking about is the get it out the mud concept. They all act like that they just grew up rough and rugged and they had to eat syrup sandwiches and shit. They all act like that. You don't got to. If you grew up with a privileged life, that's good. Your parents did right by you. He's not the only one, but I'm just saying. Biggie Smalls didn't grow up in the hood neither. His mom was a teacher.
but things could have been rough, Reggie. Doesn't because she grew up a teacher. Listen, if she grew up a teacher and she was by herself, like my mom was a civil servant, right? But number one, she was an immigrant to Nigeria, so even though she had at least a decent job, but she was left on her own with four of us, right? So to an average person, she's got a really good job. But when you've got four and the bills and all those other struggles, listen, being a teacher doesn't mean anything. They could
Listen,
still have been living in poverty.
listen. I don't think that teachers make a lot of money. Matter of fact, I know they didn't. But what I'm saying to you is this: he went to private school.
It did.
Yeah, these are facts. So he chose that lifestyle. He chose
Yeah.
to go to
And
the
he
hood.
went to Catholic school as well.
That's what's that. He went to private school. Yeah, that's what I mean. He went to
Who
Catholic
did?
school.
Who?
Did
Notorious.
PDD?
he? Did he?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Both of them did. But I'm talking
He
about Biggie.
like I'm with Reggie on this. It was
Mm-hmm.
a choice. I know they come out and say all this stuff, but for some of them, it's a choice.
All right.
You've got
Some would
to
actually leave the
feel
suburbs
like
to go into the hood.
they've got to be
All
like
right.
they've got to feel among,
You looked at as soft
go
as you went
along,
from the hood.
go along, get along crew.
Oh, he went to a school in the Bronx. It's still a Catholic school. I didn't know that. I thought he probably had went. That's a damn. Probably took him a long ass time to get to school every fucking day, riding that damn train. I've been in New York a few times, mostly to the Bronx, Manhattan, and I know how to ride the two train basically. Denisha, any final thoughts on Diddy Vessel? Vessel.
If there's kids involved, the parents need to hang with Diddy. That's what I'm going to say.
Mm,
His managers who went out and got these girls for him or these boys for him, they need to hang too.
mm,
I think.
Everybody, everybody needs to go down.
mm.
I think
This
that.
thing is, go on,
Go ahead.
Rich.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This thing is going to be bigger than we actually think. There's a lot of things that, example, his the twins, their mom, the way she died. There was talks about, there might have been other things involved in her passing. I don't know anything at all about that, but these are conversations that people are starting to have, and so I feel like, because listen, with the way the FBI and those people, the way they work, they leave no stones unturned. They leave no stones unturned. So I can imagine before they get to the point of arresting. Mm, mm.
This is the thing. How long have they known about this and not done anything about it? How many victims could have been saved?
Well,
They've
True.
probably been sitting on this for decades and not doing anything about it.
Well, that that Cameron interview. Well, I guess what Cameron said wasn't necessarily incriminating or whatever,
no.
but my point is that's oh. So I'm just saying that rumors have been speculating for some time. Maybe not the sex trafficking and all that shit. I don't understand why he even getting involved with no bullshit like that. But like the drug use.
Prostitution?
Yeah, you ain't hear all that shit.
Prostituting boys? You had boys
Yeah.
prostitute. For what reason?
If he
Why? No,
did
yeah,
that, then
that's
it
one thing.
means
Why he do that, and why is he in a drug ring, an interstate drug ring? At what? Why are you doing that? You making money?
Yeah,
It's weird.
this is a crazy individual. This person, um, yeah, he thought himself some kind of gangster boss. He was all the way up there, but I'm glad they've brought him right down to earth, back down from whatever high place he put himself. He has come crashing down. Good. And this is, I hope that all the other degenerates out there, they will still be degenerating out there. So they would
And
still be there.
and again, I know quite a few individuals that would be all down for that shit. Oh, you mean to tell me I'm going over there? I'm gonna get some free weed. I'm gonna get some free dope and some free dick. Shit, run it.
Mm-mm. There's people like here in the UK, here in the UK, Vessel. Do you know Barrymore? Michael Barrymore.
yes, exactly.
Michael
Michael
Barrymore
Barrymore is this is exactly what Michael Barrymore did.
had a
He
party.
used to have them parties,
Yes,
Reggie.
he would have, and he was gay, wasn't he? He was gay.
Yes.
Yeah. So Reggie, wait, Michael Barrymore, he was a comedian, wasn't he? Comedian
Yes, he
slash
was.
person. Um, yeah, he was popular for whatever, I don't really know, right? And then he'll have all these parties, drug fueled parties. There were orgies, they were out there until
Everyone knew about it. They did nothing
until
until. Go ahead, Afro. Until.
someone, I think someone, when he went there, he, I don't know what he took, what died in the pool. He
Oh,
died
oh,
in the
my bad,
pool.
my bad.
Yeah,
I
it
didn't mean
was
that.
it was it was fatal. Fatal. incident that could have easily been avoided. So my goodness, everything came out. The sort of the sort of things they would get into in those places. Wow, this guy, I don't think he ever recovered from that mess.
Yeah, they partied a little bit too hard. You know, it's always one person that think they can hang with the big dogs, do a little bit too much, and it's always
Mm,
one.
mm.
It's always one. Mm-mm-mm. Well, I want to thank y'all for coming out again to Product of the '80s podcast. Thank you, Vessel, for showing up again, as always. Thank you, Afro, for showing up. I want to give a shout out to Ouija666, aka Unkindness, Denisha, my co-host Black V, Juwad. I apologize if I'm saying your name incorrectly. NJ. Who else? Rob. Oh, definitely Robin. Definitely Robin. Being up on game about stuff. I love when people are intelligent and they know stuff about their self. You know, we always know stuff about people from other countries and European history and all that shit, but we don't know nothing about ourselves, and it's crazy. Um, who else said something? I think that's about it. If I missed you, I
Robin, we had
apologize. Let me.
Robin, we had
Oh
Denisha,
yeah, yeah.
had who else did we have?
M. Albert.
Um, Betsy, we had Kiko Lansik. Um, who else? Emma, what we did have. Yeah, beautiful. And Susan, did you see Susan?
Oh yeah, yeah. In the beginning, yep. Thank you, Susan, for showing up. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the followers. And
Any day.
get this music going. I'm about to check out. Good night.
See
Good
you later,
night.
guys.